I always love it when I find out about new YouTubers I've never heard of before, and they've got a couple 100,000 subscribers, like this Carta Milan girl I'm about to show you a video from. And it's even better when it turns out that they want to tell you about feminism, because they're a feminist themselves, and we're all wrong about feminism, and it's for everyone, and everyone can join into feminism, because it's definitely not a cult, and we just want equality for everyone. So without further ado, let's just get straight into this video.
Hey guys, today I wanted to sit down and have a very important chat. This chat doesn't only apply to girls, this applies to boys too. So I'm talking about feminism today. I want to speak about what it is, what's going on in the world. What I sort of want to talk about more is how did we get to this point? Like, let's backtrack, like kind of start figuring out in our heads so we actually really know what it's about and how we can make some changes, not only for girls to be more aware of what's going on, but really for guys to kind of pick out in their friendship groups maybe what they might do that is not helping out with the current situation. Anyways, that started on a little bit of a grim note.
Yes, that did start out on a bit of a grim note. I mean, you did start off saying about how feminism is for everyone, it's for boys and girls, and then you kind of ended this little clip I just showed by saying that boys need to look at their friendship groups and see what they're doing that's not helping the current situation. You're already placing all this blame onto men, and it kind of sets the tone for the rest of this video to come, or so I think anyway.
I grew up being completely objectified. I was taught to sexualize myself to be given the approval from a man. And when I say a man, I mean the boys that were living where I was, that were going to the parties I was going to, and not only to be given approval from them, but also from my girlfriends at the time and the girl group and like the friendship group that I was in. I did this because this would make me cool, this would validate me. It eventually came to a point where the only reason we went to parties and we'd go out was to hook up with boys. And whoever could get the hottest guy or the coolest guy. This is the reason why we went. We dressed up, tight dresses, high heels, a whole lot of makeup on our face, and we just went to go and try and be seen and to appear cool and to look cool and to try and get with the coolest guy.
You see, everything you just said, everything you said you did, those were your choices. What does feminism have to do? What is feminism achieving here? Is feminism going to make it so that boys don't care about your appearance? Because even then, you're the one who chose to dress however you did, to look however you did, to go to these parties for the reasons you went out to these parties or events. No one forced you to do that. That's your fault for being peer pressured, and feminism isn't going to change that.
I'm going to tell a story of the one party I remember where I honestly felt like total shit, where it all kind of started. So this was when I was in grade 9. I was with a group of girls from a particular all-girls private school, and there was a few of us from different schools. We went to a party with older guys, and there were some older girls there too, but they were in the grades above us. And I was with maybe about 6 other girls, and so we walk into the party, and at this point in time I was not like a hot girl or anything. I was pretty chubby. I wasn't the most glamorous looking person ever, and so I already had a lot of anxiety going to certain parties with big groups of guys and stuff, because I was always scared what they might think of me, or if they would call me fat, or if they would call me names or whatever.
I was scared of men. Join my vagina cult or I'll cry.
So we all walk in the door, and I remember the first thing was all of these guys just stared at us. They all just turned and just stared at us.
Rape culture is real.
One guy goes, "Oh, everyone line up against that wall." So we were all just like, okay, like we're younger. We just wanted to be cool. We wanted to fit in with this cool group of guys. So we all lined up against the wall. And I just remember between a few of them, they all started numbering us, like out of 10, like were rating us. So, you know, for the hot girls, that was fine. They were like, oh, she's a 9. So then for them, they're like, oh, confidence boost. And then when you get rated like a lower number, it's like, okay, my night's already started shit. So I'm pretty sure I knew what was going on. I was like, this isn't going well. I was already like, I know that they're not gonna like me because I'm chubby. Like, I was a chubby girl, seriously, and like was not as good looking as these other stick thin girls that were next to me.
All I'm getting from this is that you had a bad taste in friends. You had terrible friends who would take you to these terrible parties with these terrible people. Some terrible people, some terrible men does not equate to feminism being necessary. Just don't go near those shitty human beings. Feminism isn't going to stop them.
I remember I just felt so uncomfortable, and then my friend's like, here, have a drink, just pour yourself a drink, it'll be fine, la la la. And so I tried to kind of like talk myself into it. I tried to like be like, yeah, this is fine, we're with like these really cool guys, like I've always wanted to hang out with them, like they're so cool, whatever.
So basically, you were dumb, you were desperate, and you were thirsty for some hot guys. That's really all we're getting here. This is absolutely nothing to do with why feminism is good or bad. You've yet to even mention anything to do with actual feminism.
My girlfriends that were there at the time were just getting smashed or already hooking up with these guys, and it was just almost like we went to the party just to get with these guys.
Well, yeah, you did say earlier that a big part of the reason you went to these parties was to get with these guys, and now you're acting like it's some sort of big deal or big surprise to you that you were going to these parties to hook up with guys. This shouldn't be any shock to you. You were the one who wanted to go to the party for this reason.
I honestly felt like crap, so I went over to my friend and I was like, can we please go? Like, I was really begging her. I was like, I feel really uncomfortable, I want to leave. Like, can you please come with me? Like, I was in the middle of nowhere. I didn't know where I was. I was supposed to be staying at my friend's house that night. And yeah, so she was like, no, babe, it's fine. Like, she put up a freaking goon sack and was like, just drink. Like, drink more. Just keep drinking. You'll be fine. So that's what I did. I had no other option, so I just got super smashed to make myself feel better. And that night, like, I was dangerously drunk. Like, I was about to black out.
Again, shitty friends. And, you had no other options? Do you seriously believe that you had no other options than to drink and drink and drink until you're about to black out? That's ridiculous. Can you not just spend your time at the party without drinking? Did you have an alcohol problem? Did you need to drink? I doubt it.
I want to talk about, when we backtrack feminism, I want to speak about how people may have objectified you. And that's what happens. Women get objectified as if they're like an object. Like, a girl wouldn't go into a party and line up a boy and be like, okay, I'm gonna rate you all. Boys would be like, hell no, fuck off. What do you think you're doing? They have courage to speak up to women because they've put themselves on a higher platform. For girls, we immediately get objectified. If someone puts themselves above us, we just go, okay.
Do you seriously believe that this sort of thing only happens to women? Seriously? I mean, I know for a fact women objectify men just as men objectify women. It's not a sex-specific thing. It happens both ways. And just because you and a few of your friends were too timid to stand up and say, no, you're not going to rate us, that doesn't mean that all women are like that. It also doesn't mean that all men are the opposite. It doesn't mean that all men are going to be able to stand up and say, you're not going to rate me. A bunch of really horrible girls could line up a bunch of really shy boys and do the same thing to them. What are the boys going to do if they're fat and they're chubby and don't have any self-confidence? They're going to have the exact same reaction as you did. This is not anything to do with being a man or a woman. It happens both ways.
This is not me hating on men. This is not me hating on boys. This is me literally stating what some boys do. I know there's some amazing guys out there that do not do this stuff because you probably switched onto the fact that it's totally fucked up.
Women round up men. They round them up into a huge group and then they start beating them with baseball bats and flinging shit into their faces, and then they get out their cattle prods to control them. But this isn't me hating all women. I'm not hating all girls, I'm just saying what some girls and women do, because some out there do it, and I know that there are lots of women out there who don't do these things because they know that this is so fucked up and they shouldn't be doing it.
It's not feminism, it's equalism. It's about teaching men what they can and can't say to girls.
Yep. Just as I've been saying, it's about teaching men, because men are the problem.
Like, even growing up, like, whether he knew it or not, my dad completely objectified me as well and would always put pressure on me about what I was eating and about my body, and that's not fair to do to young people. Even boys, you can't from a young age start telling people that they have to change things about themselves to fit into a certain mold. It is so traumatizing, and you grow up with it and you think that's what is okay.
Well, you see, it depends what you mean by objectifying you and telling you what to eat and getting on at you about your body. You did say earlier that you were chubby. Now, by chubby, I don't know if you mean you were a little fat or maybe you were very fat. Now, there's nothing wrong with a parent telling their child, you need to eat healthier, you need to lose some weight, you are not being healthy, you're going to die of a heart attack at age 40. That is a parent looking out for their child, telling someone, giving them advice on how to live a better life and look after themselves is not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that. And you need to stop acting like there is. You're essentially encouraging young people to get overweight, to be fat, and to say, don't judge me for being fat because it's who I am. No, you need to do something about being fat or else you're going to die.
Ever since we grew up, ever since we were young, male gender has always objectified us.
And there it is, folks, again, the male gender. Do you see this? It's the whole narrative of this video is feminism is for boys and girls. But boys are the issue. Boys are objectifying women and we need this to stop. You see, the whole impression I get from this is just that you've had some bad issues with men in your life. And that has caused you to hate men and join feminism.
We're talking about feminism and everyone's like, yeah, I'm a feminist, but I'm like, when's the last time you actually stood up to someone that said something really messed up to you?
So now feminism's about standing up to people when they say something bad to you? Isn't that just like anti-bullying or something? I don't see what this has to do with feminism. So if someone says something messed up to me and I say, no, you cannot say that, and I stand up for myself, does that make me a feminist? If so, I suppose I'm a feminist.
I guess feminism has a bad name because it seems like it's just girls bagging out boys. And yes, in some way it kind of is.
Wow. You finally admitted it. I'm actually quite shocked that you admitted it. You spent most of the video talking about how feminism's for boys and girls. Even in the title of your video, that's what it says, for boys and girls. But now you come out and you admit, feminism? Oh, it's mainly just bad-mouthing men. It's about hating men, basically. You just admitted that feminism is a vagina cult for hating men. That's basically what you just said. So I'm not even going to continue from here, as you just kind of you conceded right there. You undermined your entire argument up to that point. So yeah, you're welcome, society. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Goodbye.